Another day in the crypto market, and we are all waiting for this move to the upside. And that would look really great in the altcoin market. But what we do want to see is the price breaking to the downside, not bouncing back into this trend line. This is the Bitcoin dominance. We would like to see something like this dropping all the way down here, which would give us more room here in the altcoin side of things. Bitcoin is in this pattern, which is good. We've been talking about this from some time, giving you the possibility that we would be doing this. Now we reached there, we're trying to break through, we're doing this leg. So if the price action does show you that this is what we are about to do, then that's going to be attractive, right? It's going to be attractive. That move can actually give a lot of altcoins some life. Some of them are popping, like it came to 60% up at the peak today. And if you are looking to join those kind of a run, that's really hard to pick it on the exact same day or the day before. Whereas if you are in those positions, because remember, the price now is 0.009. This call was there when the price was 0.003. So it literally went 200% up since this call. And it's not months, it's just 1 month, less than 1 month. The call of the SI family, where thousands of members are already on it. And we followed them, right? When it was at the lower end, I was giving you guys, okay, this is what I'm looking at. This is where you educate yourself to look for the opportunity and buy into them. Did it drop? That was the question, right? On December, I was saying, will drop here. You buy there, you get a lot of opportunity. It dropped there. Those who bought in, they made the most of it. Now, whether it's RSR, which popped now, or whether it's Maker, which is running up like this till this point. Now, it's at 3,200 plus. When we were talking about this, remember, it was at 800, it was at 1,300. The price went a lot to the upside. We are now here in the price territory. It's a lot of different assets which are taking off, right? This one went up, hit that target, now came back down. So those who knew the target, they took profit. That's why I always say, know your assets, know your targets, take your profits at the right time. And for that, SI Family is the best place in the entire crypto market, where you get constant updates about the market and these assets which are about to pop. Whether you are a leverage trader, whether you are a spot rider, all these assets and opportunities are posted here. So if you want to take benefit of that, you can look at the link in the description below in YouTube or in the bio on Twitter. So guys, let's dive into the video. Welcome to the Scientific Investor Family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. Right now, yes, the market looks a little bit choppy here and there if you are not looking at it the right way, for sure. Because the moment you actually step back on a weekly, you are like, okay, whoa, that doesn't look really good. It does look like a reversal sign. Agreed, 100%, there's no doubt. When the candle closes like that, it is 100%. Agreed. But before that, these candles usually make some choppy moves. It just say, I'm making a doji. Then what happens? Yes, at one point in time, while you are inside that weekly candle, even in these candles here, just these three, you would have looked at the same thing when the price was here. But then the price went back up and closed. And now you are on the Thursday here in North American territory. So you need the Friday, the Saturday, the Sunday, and then you get the candle close. So the question is, can we do something better in that 3-day gap? Remember, in last couple of videos, when we had this particular candle, the inverse hammer, I reiterated the fact that I believe the price is going to go up, test these levels. Now we are at that range. So if you went and doubled down on different assets, you're already watching your portfolio going back up, doing big numbers. Why? Because the market was showing you it was the possibility. Now the question is the MACD agreeing with it? Is the MACD in the negative? No, the MACD is still in the positive zone. It is trying to cross back to the upside on Bitcoin, which means there is some movement coming in the market, because at this time, you're not watching the Bitcoin dominance popping. You're watching that dropping. That gives the altcoin market a good odds. The only issue with XRP is that the moment it starts running higher, say earlier today when it actually went up to 0.655, I was like, whoa, that's good. But immediately I went on to look at Bitcoin. And Bitcoin was like, nope, I'm slowing down. I'm dropping. This was the attitude from Bitcoin at that time. That usually happens, at least in the last few months. Whenever XRP started moving, we saw someone was dumping Bitcoin, creating that sentiment in the market. Or we can put it now in this way. If XRP is about to run, short Bitcoin. This is something which was working in the market. But, don't short the market. I'm just kidding. It can whoop you. It can literally slap you, right? Don't do that. On a macro horizon, say you are a spot guy. You don't really understand leverage. You don't want that amount of risk. Now, what you would be looking at in the market is to buy into a dip. Whether that corrective leg is 20%, now let's be accurate here, 20%, or if that's a little bit less than that to 18%, you kind of get an idea. I want to take benefit of that day. Okay, if that's you, understand that 20% has been done. Right now, we are standing somewhere close to 12, and the long wick was 20%. Now, once we get a big long wick to the downside, say that 20%, does that mean it's done and we're directly going up to the sky? No, there are times where we have returned to that bottom and then bounced off. So if you missed the current drop to buy in at these lows, maybe the price is going to give you this. And if it does, use that. Don't miss that. Because at that point, you're literally arguing with the price that, I'm going to wait for another lower price point, which may not be the best thing to do in this market, right? When you go on looking at a lot of different assets and then putting that into this, you'd be asking the question, okay, the weekly is still trending to the upside. The higher highs, the higher lows, that still stands there. There is no difference in it. You don't have to deviate from that. You can go look at multiple large cap assets in the altcoin market and then ask the question, okay, what are we really looking at? So on a short term, when you're looking at just these two legs on the weekly chart, you're like, whoa, that's a higher high, but this guy is showing a lower high. That usually ends up with some level of corrective movements. So at that point, you're looking at like, okay, how much can the market drop? The recent drop has been 30% drop. What's the average there? 33% drop was the last one. Cool. In a similar phase of the cycle, last time it was like 45, 48, 50. That was the bottom. So do I think that this is the bottom? You have to keep that question. Because if the last three drops were like this, the average is already met. Now you can possibly see something like this too, a long wick to the downside because you have a negative divergence. But then you're like, okay, on a weekly, I understand that's the possibility. I want to see whether that's over or not. I want to see where exactly we are right now. This is where your TA skills come inside this. The picture becomes clear. Here on a 3-day chart, you're zooming in. You still have the same divergence here, which is negative. And you're like, okay, the RSI still has some room to the downside. So if you are bearish on this asset, you look for 0.44, which means the drop which you're anticipating is like 46%, which is like the historical worst case scenario. Great. Otherwise, if you are extremely bullish on this asset, you would like to see a hidden bullish divergence getting confirmed. That's important at this point. So the price action is showing you it went up, great, but it made a double top here, broke that to the downside and came down to the support. So I would look for a bounce like this. If it does get rejected, okay, fine. I will look for the bottom support level here. That is going to be one of the primary thing which I would focus on in assets, which has already printed a negative divergence on a weekly when the monthly is nowhere near the overbought region. That means it has a long way to the upside, but there is something slowing it down. What the hell is it? I don't know. But at least the market shows you that something is happening. But the moment you're on a monthly chart, you're like, we're still grinding higher. There is nothing wrong in this asset. Historically speaking, you do this. Historically speaking, you do this. So this asset taking that time there and going up, maybe another 30 days compared to others, I'm okay with that. Because if you do understand which direction you're going, you're fine with that. You know your targets. Now, say you're not in the smart contracts realm. You're more like, say, the gaming side. Maybe it's Gala Games, maybe it's Mana, maybe it's, small caps, whichever you like. But look at it on a key idea of Wyckoff, right? Whether it's in an accumulation phase, whether it has already entered the phase E, that depends on which asset you're talking about. Right now, this one has not done that. You got the creek for sure. Now you're trying to make the LPS here. Perfect. The moment you get the breakout and retest, that's where you go, this is about to ride higher. There was a lot of different assets which were doing that, and that's one of the primary reasons why we doubled down on a lot of different assets. You guys saw me buying, adding more, all of those in the alerts. Now, if you keep that idea in mind, payments as an industry right now is showing you something. What is it? This range has been the support, the resistance, the support. We know it. Great. It's making a double bottom pattern. It's trying to break through. It's trying to hold on to that retest. If it does, which means next week, 1 week, say 2 candles, 2-3 day candles, next 7 days, if we get a bounce here, that's all that we want. What do I mean by that? Say you're a pattern guy, not like a wave or a Wyckoff guy. Fine. You look at this pattern and you put the argument like, okay, we got the breakout, we are doing the retest. The next measured move in this asset is like 87%. That means you're looking at 0.23, 0.24 range in XLM. Now, let me ask you this. If you think this asset is about to run higher to meet that target, it's highly correlated with XRP. If that's about to run, I'm like, okay, look at $1 or above for XRP as well. Both of these will move together. Now, if you are like, no, I'm not 100% in XRP. No, I'm not 100% in payments. Yeah, now I get your point. Now we need to look at the smart contracts, the gaming. AI, I'm not a fan of it right now. We went in through them. The fetch, the AGIX, the render. You guys have seen me trading them earlier when there was a lot of room to the upside. Now I think they are reaching a bubble territory where I don't have much valuations to the upside. So I'm looking at other side. Gaming, I'm a fan of it. Get smart contracts, it's great. Infrastructure, that's perfect for me. When you look through those assets and then balance your portfolio with the large cap, the medium and the small cap, you get some assets which blow through. That's one of the reasons why when you see 40, 50, 60% right, I'm able to show that, yeah, we were on it. Why? We are taking that approach, which is the practical, the least risk taking scenario where you don't understand if it's you don't understand anything you're doing in the risk terms. In crypto, that's super risky. It's literally like throwing your money into the ocean because there are 65,000 coins and you have that responsibility to find maybe 100 or 150 coins which has some value, which has volume, which has price action, the sentiment, the project, the developers, a ton of things. And that's why I say SI family makes that easy for you. You don't have to go find that coin which is in the 20,000 range of the cap, a nano cap, where the daily trading volume would be even hundreds of thousands, not in hundreds of millions, where your risk is substantially higher. Now, guys, if you're receiving value and you haven't smashed that like button, obliterate that. I appreciate that a lot. So, guys, I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.